What's up, wave makers? It's me, Mommy Suna.
Jump in my car.
Today's video is a little different. On my channel, I generally do anti-MLM content or content about weird business practices or scams or something like that. Is this video about MLMs? No, absolutely not. Is this video about scams or weird business practices? No, not really. This is just something that I stumbled across on the internet and wanted to look into further. Like, it's one of those things where I saw the first article and I'm like, I gotta read up more on this, and then I ended up spending like a good hour looking into it and I'm like, why? This makes no sense. So if this was so interesting to me, I think there's probably gonna be people out there who are also interested. So anyway, David Hasselhoff is selling all of his stuff. Like, all of it.
Hi, it's David Hasselhoff. You know, the auction is open now. Everything goes. Check it out.
After over 4 decades of compiling various movie props, toys, clothes, and personal travel itineraries, the Hoff has finally decided to part with it all by way of online auction. Now, the website says that a portion of the proceeds will be donated to David's charitable organizations, but it doesn't list any specific charities at all. That being said, David Hasselhoff has been known to do plenty of charity work. What truly fascinated me about this, though, was one of the items that were listed for auction. Most news outlets right now are reporting about the auction of his kit car from the 80s drama Knight Rider, which this car is apparently street legal, fully functional, and also if the price hits over 25% of the reserve price, which is the minimum that David Hasselhoff has agreed to sell this item for, he will deliver it to you personally. That's what most people are reporting on right now, but that's not what caught my eye. And it also wasn't Hoff's personal broke down 1961 Mercedes that's definitely being advertised with only the highest quality of photos. No, the item that caught my eye is something much more bizarre. Something much more disturbing. Something I had no idea even existed on this planet. A thing of nightmares? They call him Big Dave.
Hi, it's David Hasselhoff. Everything goes, even Big Dave.
Coming in at 14 feet long, Big Dave is a prop from the SpongeBob SquarePants movie. You may remember the scene where the Hoff rescues SpongeBob and Patrick, uses his body as a motorboat, and then forcefully propels them back to Bikini Bottom using the sheer force of his pecs. First of all, I'm sure I'm not the only one who immediately didn't recognize this to actually be a prop. Like, I thought this was all CGI work. Never did it cross my mind that there was an actual physical prop for this movie scene. And considering the work of so many like YouTubers that I watch, like Danny Gonzalez and Curtis Connor and Drew Gooden, they all kind of do like their own green screen work. Jamie French is another one too who does like pretty passable green screen work. It's not Hollywood CGI by any means, but I'm like watching the SpongeBob movie and like comparing it to what just these, you know, YouTubers do at home with a green screen. I'm like, was it really necessary to even build a 14-foot long replica of David Hasselhoff just for a couple moments there? How much did it cost to produce Big Dave? How much manpower and time went into making this prop in the first place? And does the Hoff have something against green screens? We'll never know. Regardless, this thing is real. It is up for auction. The bidding starts at $100,000, but he's expected to go for anywhere between $750,000 and $1.5 million. Interestingly enough, I found out that this isn't the first time that Big Dave has been put up for auction in his life. In 2014, the Hoff put him up at the Hollywood Legends auction for a starting price of $30,000. So, but when the news got out about this, like, it gained a lot of media attention. Jimmy Kimmel used it as his desk on one of the episodes of his late night show. They also ended up using it as a prop for the roast of David Hasselhoff on Comedy Central. After it gained all this attention, David kind of had a change of heart and he decided to hold on to Big Dave. Presumably, and this is just my assumption, but probably because he realized he could get more money out of it than he was originally asking for. The president of that 2014 auction was quoted by The Hollywood Reporter as saying, "He thinks so much of himself that he pulled it." I mean, it was a spectacle piece that brought a lot of attention to the auction at that time. So is it possible that the Hoff is kind of using it again just to gain more media attention for his auction? Because yeah, he's auctioning, like, there's like 7 pages of this auction of just a bunch of different like film memorabilia or like t-shirts or, you know, just little stuff. And then there's like these couple of cars in Big Dave. So is it possible that he's just kind of using it as a spectacle again? Is he gonna pull it from auction again? I just don't get why. Like, why do you need to hold on to this? You know, maybe it really just has a special place in his heart. Who wouldn't want a 14-foot long replica of themselves in their home? I don't know where David Hasselhoff has been keeping this. I doubt it's been in his home, although I'm sure he has many homes, so maybe. You know, if this doesn't go up for auction at the end of the day, I think that he's just using it to garner more attention for the not so bizarre items that he's selling at his auction this time around. Live bidding starts on January 23rd. There are no pre-bids on it as I'm filming this video, but there's like a bunch of people watching it, so we'll see what happens. It'll be interesting to see how much money Big Dave goes for. There's no doubt though that owning a 14-foot long replica of David Hasselhoff sporting the creepiest grin that anyone has ever seen would make a huge statement in anybody's home. Like, what would you even do with him? He's huge and he's creepy. Leave me a comment, let me know what kind of good use you think that you would put Big Dave for if you had $1.5 million to blow on this giant David Hasselhoff. To me, I'm like, this belongs in a Hollywood museum or something, not necessarily someone else's home. Like, I can't imagine someone actually using it as decor in their house unless they're like a really rich David Hasselhoff fan, you know? Anyway, that's all I have for you. I know this video was short. I just thought it was interesting and I hope you guys found it interesting as well. And with that being said, let's thank my patrons. The biggest thank you in the whole wide world goes to Amanda McMahon, Anxiety for Days, Corey Allison, Turd Ferguson, Yesenia Rivera, Katrina Rosemarick, Elizabeth Wyatt, Karina Winman, Maria Burchett, Meredith Nakata, Molly Wasilewski, Rach J, April Lindblom, Boris Geller, Clark Grace, Daniel Urena, E. Higgins, Erica Louder-Craddock, Evan Adler, Eve Blondo, Justin Kelsey, Kelly Creffield, Kim Cartwright, Laura Lynn Martin, Maddie Darley, Rachel McHenry, Tuesday the 13th, and Cat Loves Things and Stuff, and to the rest of my fabulous patrons, thank you so much for being here, for being you. Just another reminder, with this video being as short and sweet as it was, if you're watching this video at this point, I've probably had a baby. I filmed this in advance, obviously, so I don't know when I'm gonna get back to my regular schedule, but thanks for bearing with me during this time of uncertainty. I will continue to try to get content out to you guys as best as I can during these times. But thank you regardless for being here. If you made it to the end of this video even, thank you. And with that being said, keep making waves, babes, and I will smell you guys later. Mommy Tsunami out.